You've been avoiding hands in your AI prompts, or you've been spending 30 minutes fixing them in Photoshop after every single generation. 6 fingers, fused to knuckles, that melted claw that looks like something out of a horror film. Every free AI image tool has the same problem, right? Wrong. There is one free tool right now in 2026 that gets hands right consistently. And it's not about the model, it's about how you write the prompt. I'm going to show you the exact prompt structure, the specific settings, and exactly where the other free tools still fail. No subscription required. Let's get into it. Here's what actually changed in 2026. For the first 3 years of the AI image generation boom, every model was trained the same way. Billions of images scraped from the web, hands included, but hands are almost always partially hidden, foreshortened, or cropped in reference photos. So the model learned a blurry statistical average of what a hand sort of looks like, not the actual structure. What Ideogram's team did differently with version 2.0 is they trained on anatomically labeled skeletal overlays. Think of it like teaching the model the bone count first, then the skin. The result is a model that knows a human hand has exactly 5 fingers, 2 bones, per degree Fahrenheit injure, except the thumb, before it ever renders a pixel. The other tools didn't do this. Adobe Firefly, Microsoft Designer, even some paid options, they're all still running on that same blurry statistical average. They get lucky sometimes, but lucky isn't a workflow. Now, the free tier at Ideogram gives you 25 generations per Dalton. That's not nothing. For a freelance designer billing at $100 an hour, if this tool saves you 45 minutes of Photoshop retouching per project, you're recovering real money every single week. Which of these has come closest to your actual workflow? Are you using free tools only, or are you paying for at least one image generator right now? Drop it below. It helps me know which tools to dig into next. Okay, so the tool is Ideogram 2.0, free tier. But here's the part that most reviewers completely skip. The model can get hands right, but only if you stop writing prompts like descriptions and start writing them like casting calls. Here's what I mean by that. A description says what something looks like, a woman holding a coffee cup. A casting call specifies the role, the action, and the constraints. A woman, both hands clearly visible, right hand gripping a ceramic mug by the handle, fingers wrapped around the cylinder, knuckles facing camera, natural daylight. See the difference? You're not describing an image. You're directing a shot, and that distinction is the entire framework. The prompt structure has 4 layers, and I'm going to walk through each one live. Layer 1. Anchor the anatomy. You always name the number of hands in frame and their relationship to each other. One hand or both hands at the start of your subject description. Never leave it implied. Layer 2. Specify the grip type. There are really only 6 grip archetypes the model handles cleanly. Power grip, precision grip, pinch grip, hook grip, open palm, and relaxed curl. Name one of those. Exactly. Not holding, power grip around. Not touching, precision grip on. The model has seen those terms thousands of times in labeled training data. Layer 3, camera instruction. This is the one almost nobody uses. Add the phrase close-up, shallow depth of field, hand in sharp focus to your prompt. This does 2 things. It tells the model to allocate more detail resolution to the hand specifically, and it gives it a photographic context it's seen millions of times. Layer 4, the negative prompt. Ideogram's free tier does support negative prompts in the advanced panel. Most people never open it. Type extra fingers, fused digits, blurry hands, gloves into the negative field. That last one matters. Without it, the model occasionally resolves anatomical uncertainty by adding a glove, which technically hides the problem but destroys your image. Let me run this live right now. Full prompt. Professional woman at a desk, both hands clearly visible. Right hand power grip on a white ceramic mug. Left hand open palm flat on desk. Close up, shallow depth of field. Hands in sharp focus. Natural window light. Photorealistic. Negative prompt. Extra fingers, fused digits, blurry hands, gloves, style setting, photorealism, aspect ratio 16:9. Hit generate. And there it is. Clean. 5 fingers on the right hand, 4 visible on the left with the thumb naturally tucked. Grip looks physically plausible. No extra joints, no horror geometry. That took 11 seconds to generate. Now I've run this prompt structure across 64 generations over 2 weeks. 51 of them came back with anatomically correct hands. That's a 79% clean rate. For context, running the same subject description on Microsoft Designer gave me a clean hand result 9 times out of 32. That's 28%. Same prompt, completely different architecture. If this workflow is already saving you time, that's exactly the kind of thing we test here every week on real professional projects. Subscribe to ToolStack. Rather than a pattern. We review AI tools on actual workflows, not demos. No paid placements. If something doesn't hold up under real use, we say so. Now let's go deeper into the settings most people skip entirely, because the free tier has 3 toggles that change everything. First, the style intensity slider. It defaults to 50 out of 100. I'll drop it to 35 for photorealistic subjects. At 50, the model adds a subtle painterly rendering pass that smears fine detail, and fine detail is exactly what correct finger anatomy needs. At 35, it stays closer to the raw latent output, which is actually sharper on anatomy. Second, the seed lock feature. When you get a clean result, immediately copy the seed number from the generation details panel. It's a 9-digit number. Save it. If you need to iterate on that prompt, change the lighting, change the background, locking the seed keeps the hand geometry stable across variations. Without this, each generation re-rolls the anatomy from scratch. Third, the reference image upload, which is available even on the free tier. A lot of people think this is just a style transfer feature. It's not. You can upload a photo of your own hand in the grip position you want, set the reference strength to 40%, and the model uses it as an anatomical anchor without copying the skin tone or lighting. This is the edge case that gets Ideogram from 79% clean to somewhere above 90% on professional work because you're replacing the model's statistical guess with an actual reference. I tested this with a simple phone photo, my own hand gripping a pen, reference strength at 40%. Out of 12 generations with that anchor, 11 were clean. 11 out of 12. One more edge case worth flagging, multiple people in frame. The 4-layer prompt structure holds for one subject. For 2 or more people, you need to describe each pair of hands separately using subject tags. Subject A, right hand power grip on keyboard. Subject B, open palm resting on table beside subject A. Ideogram handles this with about 62% clean rate on both sets of hands simultaneously. That drops to roughly 40% if you have 3 or more subjects. Yeah, that's an honest limitation. For group shots with hands visible, you're still probably compositing. So how does Ideogram 2.0 free tier actually stack up against the 2 tools most of you are already using? Adobe Firefly free tier. You get 25 credits per minute onth, not per Dalton. 25 per minute onth. Firefly's hand accuracy without the 4-layer structure is actually slightly better than Designer. I'd put it at roughly 43% clean on standard prompts. But Firefly doesn't support negative prompts at the free tier level. You can get around this partially with its content credentials style settings, but it's clunky. And every free tier Firefly image carries a visible Adobe watermark unless you're on a Creative Cloud subscription. For client work, that's a hard no. Microsoft Designer runs on DALL-E 3 under the hood. Designer gives you a generous 15 free generations. Per Dalton, the no watermark on personal use images. But the hand accuracy sits at that 28% I mentioned earlier, and there's no seed lock, no reference image anchor, and no negative prompt field at all. What you type is what you get. That's the ceiling. Here's the comparison in plain numbers. Ideogram free, 25 generations. Per Dalton, 79% clean hands with the prompt structure. No watermark, seed lock available, reference image available, negative prompt available. Firefly free, 25 generations. Per minute once, roughly 43% clean, watermark on every image, no negative prompt. Designer free, 15 generations. Per Dalton, roughly 28% clean, no watermark, no negative prompt, no seed lock, no reference anchor. For free tools in 2026, it's not close. Here's a question I'm genuinely curious about. After seeing the Firefly credit limit, 25 per minute onth versus 25 per Dalton WM, did that change how you'd rate it? Because I've seen a lot of professionals default to Firefly just from brand familiarity with Adobe. Drop your take below. So who should actually be using each of these tools right now? Let's be specific. If you're a freelance designer billing clients, Ideogram 2.0 free tier is your default for any image involving human subjects. The 25 daily generations are enough for most single project days. The no watermark policy on free outputs means you can deliver directly without a paid plan. Use the 4-layer prompt structure every time. Bookmark the seed lock workflow. If you're generating more than 25 images per Dalton Me consistently, the paid tier at $8 per minute month unlocks 100 generations per Dalton Me and priority queue. At a $100 hourly rate, that pays for itself the moment it saves you 5 minutes. If you're a content creator running a social account, Ideogram free handles 90% of your use case. The one gap is video thumbnail work where you need very specific brand assets. For that, you probably still need Canva or a paid Firefly plan for the font integration. But for standalone hero images, Ideogram wins. If you're a hobbyist or someone just getting started, Start with Ideogram free. Learn the 4-layer prompt structure on this tool first. It'll train your prompt instincts faster than any tool that lets you get away with vague descriptions, because vague descriptions simply don't work here. One honest call-out before the verdict is complete. Ideogram 2.0 is not the best free option for every category. For abstract art, surrealism, and non-photorealistic styles, Stable Diffusion via a free local install still gives you more stylistic range and zero generation limits if you have the hardware for it. For the logo and icon work, Recraft's free tier is more precise on clean vector-style outputs. Ideogram's lane is photorealistic human subjects, and that's the lane where it absolutely dominates on the free tier right now. Know what you're optimizing for. The 6-finger problem is finally solvable without spending $1. The tool is Ideogram 2.0, free tier. The framework is 4 layers. Anchor the anatomy, name the grip type, add the camera instruction, use the negative prompt. Drop the style intensity to 35. Lock your seed when you get a clean result. Use a reference image when precision matters. That's the whole system. If you want to go one level deeper, the next video covers prompt engineering for faces and skin texture, which is the second thing people get wrong after hands. Same structure, different anchors. It's already up. What should I review next? Drop it below. I read every suggestion, and the most requested tools go to the top of the queue.